before European settlers arrived. Native American tribes thrived in harmony with nature. The Cherokee, for example, cultivated corn, beans, and squash, known as the Three Sisters, using sustainable agricultural techniques. Villages were organized around communal longhouses, and oral traditions preserved histories, like the Iroquois Confederacy's Great Law of Peace. The land was not owned but shared, with spiritual ceremonies honoring the earth. This balance lasted for millennia until the first European ships appeared on the horizon. The initial encounters between Native Americans and Europeans were marked by cultural misunderstandings and unequal exchanges. In 1621, the Wampanoag tribe shared a harvest feast with pilgrims, later mythologized as the First Thanksgiving. Yet treaties like the 1790 Treaty of New York were often violated. Settlers demanded land for goods like beads and weapons. Smallpox, introduced by Europeans, decimated tribes such as the Mandan, with mortality rates exceeding 80%. The stage was set for forced removals as settlers expanded westward. The Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed by President Andrew Jackson, forcibly displaced over 60,000 Native Americans. The Cherokee's Trail of Tears, 1838-39, saw 4,000 deaths due to starvation and disease. Soldiers burned villages, like those of the Seminole in Florida, while families were marched at gunpoint. Eyewitness accounts describe children freezing to death on barren trails. This systematic erasure of tribal homelands became a blueprint for further dispossession across the continent. Confined to reservations like the Navajo Nation, established 1868, tribes adapted to harsh conditions. The Dawes Act of 1887 further fragmented communal land into individual plots, stripping 90 million acres from native ownership. Yet, traditions survived. Women wove baskets, and ceremonies like the Sundance were held secretly. Schools like Carlisle Indian Industrial School aimed to erase indigenous identity, but languages and stories persisted. The doll from Scene 3 reappears here, symbolizing unbroken ties to the past. Today, descendants of displaced tribes revisit ancestral lands, fighting for legal recognition and environmental justice. The Standing Rock protests, 2016-17, against the Dakota Access Pipeline echoed historic resistance. Museums repatriate sacred objects, while language revitalization programs, like the Cherokee Nation's immersion schools, reclaim cultural identity. The doll, placed on a sacred rock at sunset, embodies this enduring connection, proof that the land still whispers to those who listen.